All right, what's up? This is Joshua. Once again, new video. This time in the rain in Minneapolis. Um, really trying to step up the ridiculousness factor here. So we've got the umbrella popping off. Hopefully you can hear the lovely sound of rain bouncing from it. I'm walking down a busy street, so there's gonna be a lot of cars coming. And I suspect that me talking and moving is going to add some extra noise to this, but we're going to find out. The point being, we're going to make something given the current shitty conditions and learn some new stuff about technique and video and whatnot. And we're going to see, I have to do extra trying hard not to be self-conscious, because how much worse can it get than a dude walking down the street in the rain video blogging? This might be the corniest one yet. So it's occurred to me that over the last couple of days that the thing that I've been doing is like articulating a philosophy about making. So that first video, and I'll put links in the YouTube description below, but so the first video is about the idea of make what you feel like making using the tools that you have on hand. Basically start where you're at. It doesn't mean you can't try hard. It doesn't mean you can't take classes. It doesn't mean you can't buy better tools, but start with the shitty tools that you have. It's like when you're a kid, anyone who skateboarded, chances are your first skateboard was terrible. It was like a Nash. It was made out of freaking like styrofoam. It was terrible. It had giant hard wheels that barely rolled. The bearings sucked. Everything about it sucked. But if you learned how to ollie on that thing, then when you got your first real skateboard, it was amazing. Or if you learned how to do bonelesses on that thing, it was so heavy. Or at least this is how they were in the 80s. Now they're actually super light, so maybe it's, who knows, maybe you're grounded now. But regardless, the point being, they were so heavy. And so when you got a real skateboard, it was like so easy to use. But you start where you're at. You don't immediately go out and be like, I need $140 to buy a setup, or however much it is these days. You get what you can get your hands on, so that you can start learning the things you can only learn by doing, which I guess that was what part 2 is about, which is like, don't just start, but like put yourself out there. Like, again, I'm gonna go with a skateboarding metaphor because I don't know, I spent a long time skateboarding, so it's a pretty good thing to do. So it's like, you don't wait to go find real spots until you have the perfect setup, until you have the perfect shoes. You just go out and you do it. So that's like the first thing there. Then, start where you're at, and then take it seriously. Like, go and do the thing. Now, I think what this video is going to be about, and I'm going to keep it pretty short because between the rain and the wind, I am freezing. It kind of sucks, and I'm waiting for my lunch to be prepared. So what we'll talk about this time is this idea of I don't know how to put this. It sounds so terrible, but not believing that things have to be good in order to be published. And I kind of went into that in the second video, but I want to kind of articulate that a little bit more. So for me, a really liberating thing that I heard was the author Grant Cardone talk about the idea that quantity counts over quality, which is super counterintuitive. It goes against everything everyone's been taught. It certainly goes against what I learned in school, and it goes against what I taught for a long time. But the idea is that if you look at the world, quality doesn't matter. It straight up doesn't matter. I think that my iPhone is amazing and I love it, but big gust of wind. All right, but the fact of the matter is, like, I don't have any evidence that it's better. I haven't tested another phone. I haven't done any due diligence. I haven't done any research. Basically, I know I liked using it and it looked nice. So So I went with it. That's kind of all it took for me to get involved. Now, is a cup of Starbucks the best coffee? Like, do I have to spend $3 on a cup of coffee? And is a Starbucks the best coffee? Now, I drink this stuff religiously, but is that just because I'm used to it? Does that actually mean it's better than anything else? But it's clearly like the biggest and most popular. Same with Apple, same with McDonald's or Burger King or whoever's leading the stupid ass fast food wars. So that doesn't mean you can't get a better burger. It just simply means that like the market doesn't actually reward quality. And another way that I look at this is if I've had clients before where I did work for them that was awesome. And so my opinion was, clearly they must have awesome taste because they hired me and they let me make awesome work. And then later, you leave or you go get a job, but you stop working for that client. And then they get someone new and they start doing terrible stuff. And you're thoroughly confused because you're like, I thought that they had great taste. They were working with me, we were doing great stuff. And now they're doing terrible stuff. So what's the answer? Well, the answer is actually that they have terrible taste. It's just that they find people they like to work with, who maybe know how to talk about their work in a way that makes sense. And then they do whatever that person tells them to do. So when I was the designer, they did awesome work. And obviously I'm being like a narcissist and egomaniac right now, but when I was the designer, they did awesome work. And clearly they it had nothing to do with good taste. It just had to do with like what I was making and what the relationship that we had was. And then later they had a crappy designer, but they had the same kind of relationship. So what does that mean? It means that clearly what I define as quality is not the thing that truly counts. There's other factors at play. And so this is part of why I try to publish regardless of the necessary like level of polish or whatever, because very few people are actually going to be turned off by the quality. Frankly, it's great if they do, because those people like aren't of the substance I'm looking for. So, man, I'm getting winded. So the big lesson that I sort of got from Grant Cardone and I eventually kind of matched to my own experience was the notion that quality clearly doesn't matter. I don't know whether a BMW is better than a Ford. I just know I want the BMW. I'm told it's better, but literally, have I done any evidence? Have I inspected one? No. So that's obviously not the case. And for me, that's really liberating because it means working and then working on yourself. So, in the instance of having a relationship with a client, like what's the thing that matters? It's how you deal with them. It's not whether the work is fantastic or not. There's very few clients where that's solely true. And usually they're like going to be creative directors that you work for, art directors or gallery owners or something like that. And really, is what they like good, or is it just their particular taste and they're in a position of power? So if you're thinking about starting something, again, just start, just make it as good as you are capable of making in the moment. Then hit save and publish it, and don't worry about whether or not it's perfect or whether it's up to someone else's standards. Just make sure that it's the best that you could do in the moment, because that's what's going to help you sleep at night. My firm belief is nobody gives a shit about craft except the person making the thing. So like, be concerned with your own craft, but don't be concerned with other people's reactions to your craft, at least not in the beginning. All right, cool. Thanks for the time. Have a good day.